Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And this is Madden 16 Green Bay Packers franchise here, and this is Packer Talk. This is episode 17, and yeah, it's been a while since we've had a Packers video, or really kind of anything dealing with the Packers here in this version of Madden. But I am trying my best to wrap this series up as we're getting closer now. There you take a look there. We're at Pro Bowl week here, and there's our adversaries there. We're going to play against the Dolphins there in Super Bowl 51 here coming up. But we'll take a look here back at last week's game as we took on the Saints there. And what a game. Talk about a blowout there, especially going in the second half. We had a 24, it was 24-10 going to the half, I believe. No, it was actually 27-10 going to half. It really blew up there in the second quarter. The defense there for New Orleans just was not there at all. I was really expecting that the Packers defense was going to have a tough time dealing with Cook, which they did. Cook did get us. There was a couple of good passes, especially that one that he took all the way and got 6 points there. But for really true, I thought it was going to be a tighter, closer game. We did play them earlier in the year, and we did do some damage to them that time. But I would think a second time around playing against them, they would be more of their favor. I thought the game would be a lot closer than it actually was. There you see Eddie Lacy, 95 yards with 26 carries, 2 touchdowns there. He had a great day, and we're hoping to get that going here. He's been having several games here. He's close to getting 100 yards. He had a couple of games there early this year, four or 5 games. He had 100 yards straight, 100 yards or more, and then it kind of just tapered off. And of course, our running game is not the best, and we're going to try and improve that as we're going to try to work on that at least for the offensive line next season. But take a look there, some other numbers there. Adams, of course, 4 receptions, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns there for him. You see Brandon Cooks, like I said, 83 yards, 2 receptions, 1 touchdown. Now you might say, yeah, that's not a great day, but one of those touchdowns, or that touchdown he had, it was a deep pass. I mean, we had no control over him at all. And so we'll have to, that's something we'll have to work on here, especially with Miami coming up. Honestly, I couldn't tell you who's on the Miami squad, but the way they're got themselves here to the Super Bowl here now, they're obviously doing something right. So we're definitely going to have to do some scouting report on them and look into them about that and whatnot. Now, I may have another video about that and how they got here coming up here as we are on Thanksgiving break and stuff. So I might have time to do that. Sometime you might see it later on in the week or so, or maybe going into next week or so. But I am going to try to wrap up the series up for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys want to see if we can do it or not, try to be undefeated again and go to the Super Bowl. Take a look here at the Dolphins, and there you see 34 points there for him. They played against the Bengals, who I thought was the team that was going to be it looked good on pay, looked good there numbers wise. Throughout the season, I thought that was a team that I kind of prepare ourselves for. But now Dolphins being the team that we have to, go after now and try to win a championship, it's going to be very interesting. And it's kind of weird, too. It's kind of funny that I have to play against a team that went undefeated back in '72. Of course, they played a different schedule than they do back then than they do now. But I kind of find it ironic and kind of just a lot of irony there that we had to beat the team, one of the greatest teams of all time, the 72 Dolphins, they're not the 72 Dolphins, but by no means they're the 72 Dolphins. But, we have to beat a Dolphins team in order to consider ourselves, on that level. Even though we done it last season, we were undefeated. But this one's, I feel like there's going to be a lot of weirdness going on. But take a look there, some of the numbers there from that game. I want to see what the receiving numbers look. A.J. Green's 5 receptions, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Looks like I'm trying to think if Parker is one of their guys. He has 3 receptions, 35 yards. that's the only touchdown I think they've gotten in the game. Hopefully we'll scroll down here in just a sec. Parker, yeah. So that's a target we're gonna have to look at here. I think it's the majority of their running game. So that might be something we'll have to really. I'm gonna have to go back and look at their stats this year, and especially look at their running. Because if I'm not mistaken, we already passed it already, but I think their running was really their bread and butter, to put it in a way, that really got them throughout the playoffs. So I'm gonna have to look at that. Like I said, I may have another video up, just kind of showing out you guys their numbers and this season so far. Dominic Sue, there you see 2 sacks, and definitely one of the dominant players there. One of my favorite players. I am a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, so seeing him, have to face him in the game, it's gonna be something to say the least. Hopefully he doesn't want to stomp heads or kick anybody or anything like that in the game. We'll see. They seem like they have a pretty decent defense. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how they, how their defense is going to fare against our offense. Our offense is high octane, and that's why I've tried to build in all my Madden teams. At the same time, I think a lot of times I focus too much on the defense or too much on the offense, and I don't do enough on the defense. And that's what I'm trying to do now, something different with the other franchise I have, Madden 17, with the Steelers. Trying to build up a good defense so we don't have to worry about that, because the offense can do whatever it wants. We just keep as long as the defense keeps us in the game, we have opportunity to we got opportunities to win the game. So yeah, I want to try to get a strong defense here, and that's what I want to try to do in this series, and not just and also in the Steelers series. But take a look here at the Pro Bowl. You got Jerry Rice, and you got Marshall Faulk. Their teams. We got a couple of guys on both squads there. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think next year they're not going to be doing this in real life or in the video games. And that's one thing I kind of miss, is playing the Pro Bowl games. I kind of miss playing those, even though they didn't, they really don't do anything for you. Like, they don't give you home field advantage or anything like that. But I kind of miss playing that. I kind of want to show you guys those games and stuff like that, like in a full video or something like that. Just show you who made the Pro Bowl and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll bring that back, because as far as I know, I don't think you can play the Pro Bowl in any of the most recent Madden games here. So, but we'll take a look at some of the season stats so far here. Of course, Lacey run over 1,000 yards here, 1,656 if I'm not mistaken. Richards, both him and Cobb over 1,200 yards for the season. We try to get Adams. Adams came close to getting 1,000 yards there. And of course, Nelson having a little trouble, only 622. But he's had a couple of injuries there, and he had to sit out a couple of games. Daniel Amendola, really a great pickup there that we got over since Nelson went down. He's really came in there, did a great job there, stepping up and being in that position of helping us out, and coming in as a workhorse there. Really doing a good job. A couple of offensive plays there, I put him in the slot position to just see what he can do, and he's great running up the middle there. It's awesome. I just wish, I'm hoping to play this. I want to play this, especially this Green Bay Packers franchise, a little bit more, but I just know I won't have the time, because trying to work on 2 series, 2 different games is kind of tough. I am going to say I am going to keep the game saved, so if I ever do want to go back and play this and have this series come back, I'll have that as a game save on my machine. But I think after this, I think I'm done. I'll have to uninstall the app on the PS4 there. But yeah, just take a look at some of the numbers here. And now we'll go to kicking here, and just showing you guys some of the numbers up to this point so far, season numbers that we've had. And yeah, I mean, for so far it's been a fun season, and I just can't wait to get to this game here. Super Bowl 51 in Houston, playing against the Dolphins. Dolphins haven't been to the Super Bowl since what, the 1960s, 1970s. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they fare in all of this, and especially Tannehill. I mean, I think I am going to make another video showing you guys his numbers and just talk about them, and also us. But Tannehill has he has some really good numbers right now. I believe he's thrown over 3,000 yards in the season, several touchdowns, and he's minimized his. Last time I looked, he looked like he didn't have that many interceptions. So looking pretty good, and hence that's the reason why they're going to the Super Bowl to face us. So, but yeah, pretty great job here. There you see our kick return numbers. Cobb, they're just about close to 1,000 yards in kick returns. You see a punt returns there, not so much there. I think next season, and I say this if I'm playing it, if I ever play it again, but we'll probably have someone else. I'm gonna look for somebody to specialize in that, do the kick return, so we can have him just on offense. But there you see, Tannehill just close to 3,000 yards there, 2,900 there. Reggie Bush, there you see his numbers. That Zach McCoy, there you see 10 touchdowns there for him. Just a great, running beast, just running up the middle there. Even though he has 609 yards, don't let it fool you guys. He's a beast, especially when they use him there in the red zone there, pound the ball. And I think that's what we'll probably end up seeing a lot of him during the game. Is just, pound that ball up the middle, or coming in as a fullback position there too. I honestly can see him doing that. Them doing that to us, using him as a fullback and just muscle himself, through find a gap and just score a touchdown. So it's really interesting how they got to this point and everything. And I think with him and Reggie in the backfield, I think they have a pretty decent backfield. You see the numbers there. They're not great numbers, but they take the opportunities that come available to them. They take them, and they definitely run with them. So, but take a look at some of the Dolphins, more of their numbers defensively. There you see Cameron Wake. Of course, that's a defensive end that we're really. We snap the ball. We gotta be our first thing in the line. Offensive line needs to worry about is where is he at. How's he going to come off on the pass rush? How's he going to come at us when we, on the rushing, stopping the run? So that's definitely something we're going to have to look at some game film there with the team, and which the team is doing right now. And just coming out of the press conference there, we talked to them about that, and they said that was one of the major things they were going to look into as they go to their meetings before they wrap up today, and they wrap up with the coaches and stuff, that they're going to look at Cameron Wake and see what they need to do to stop him when it comes to the defensive line there. But there you see the big game coming up. The 12-4 Dolphins going against the 16-0 Green Bay Packers there in Houston. And the winner of that will be Super Bowl 51 champions. So we'll see how that goes here coming up in the near future here. Hopefully, it'll be out here in the next couple of days. So thank you guys for watching. Again, like I said, comment, subscribe, and like the video if you guys enjoy this series. I'm gonna try to get the finish of this series as quickly as possible, and try to get just wrapped up and everything, so I can focus in more on the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise there here on Madden 17. So, but thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Links are down below in the description for the latest videos and video and channel news here on the channel. You guys can get all the late breaking news and all that kind of stuff, whatever's going on here on the channel, through those social media outlets. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep yourselves each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.